Welcome back to that Fight Card Podcast with the latest and most in-depth news in the MMA community. Hosted by sPidA.
Hello, everybody. sPidA here at the Fight Card Podcast, coming to you once again from San Antonio, Texas. I have a guest in the studio today, man, and Robert Olivarez.
How you doing?
Bro, how's it going, man?
Going great, man. Life's going awesome.
No, I want to thank you, man, for making the trip out here. I mean, I know you're local, but you hit traffic out here, man. How did that go?
It's always a blessing, man. It's fun. It's a lot of construction going on, like at the 410 area in Rigsby.
Oh, yeah, bro, especially San Antonio, man. I mean, I deliver furniture for a living, bro, and I got to say, dude, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't see how big the city's getting, because I'm going, like, towards Castroville, and there's still San Antonio. I mean, they're really hitting the outskirts out there, man. Oh, yeah. Now, initially, you were from San Antonio?
Yeah, born in San Antonio. I was, like, little. I kind of moved around because of my dad's job. Went to like Fort Worth, lived there for a little bit, and then went to Laredo, but eventually went back to San Antonio.
Oh yeah, and you were saying that where are you your family initially from?
Family's from San Antonio, but they grew up in Livonia.
Okay, and you were saying that earlier, man. As far as you guys have property out there, right? As far as grandpa.
Yeah, my grandpa. We have like the whole family has like a lot of property out there, and my grandpa, he, like luckily he gave us some land to live on when we started building our house.
Yeah, what are you thinking, man? Are you gonna make the move back there initially?
Yeah. I like the peacefulness, man. The country's nice.
Yeah, bro. Especially like I said, dude, San Antonio itself is getting too freaking overpopulated, man. I mean, everybody's moving down here. Houses, they're gonna start building tree houses soon, man, because there's no more properties, But yeah, man, I brought you in here, man. Of course, a few, I guess, weeks back, maybe a few months back, you actually made your your amateur debut. This was in mixed martial arts, of course, for the World Fighting Championship. This took place in College Station, man. That morning of, me and Aaron were actually here, and we talked to you a bit. And during that time, man, you had mentioned that you grew up playing sports.
Yeah, I grew up mainly football. I played a little bit of basketball, track, but my main thing was football. I love football.
And that was from middle school, or?
I was 5. I think that was my first year.
Damn, and that was mom and dad push. I mean, as far as like not pushing you, but I mean, is that something that they were supportive of?
Yeah. They always like to. They don't want me to limit me, so they don't want to limit me.
Right.
So they were just like, I'm just gonna put you in a lot of sports. Let's see what you do. How do you like it? So because I played t-ball when I was like 4, so like I liked it, but I wasn't as like attached to it as soon as I started playing football, I was hooked. I was like,
that was it.
Yeah. Oh man, that was it.
And I mean, of course, you had also mentioned, man. I mean, you played through high school, and then you actually played semi-pro.
Yeah. I played semi-pro. I played 1 year. I've always thought about going back, but I don't know. Like I started MMA jiu-jitsu. Just my heart's leaned over to this side. No,
I mean, of course, man. And your amateur debut, man. I mean, when that took place, man. I mean, you actually, you and the team. I mean, you guys made like a 3-hour trip out there.
Yeah.
I want you to bring that up only for the fact that it still takes a little bit out of you, man. I mean, of course, I'm pretty sure you didn't get to lay down all the way out there, right? You were scrunched up, sitting down on the trip.
Oh no, yeah.
But
we had a little vehicle and we were just driving. I felt like Mr. Incredible.
Yeah, bro. You saying you're a big dude, man. I mean, I know that day we talked that day of weigh-ins, man, and I mean, of course, you mentioned your weight, man. I mean, you're a super heavyweight.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
now, what the difference between that and heavyweight is? You guys wear a cape, or how does that work, man?
Yeah, it's instead of like heavyweight's like 265. Super heavyweight, the max is 300.
Okay, and what were you walking at during that time?
Before camp, I was walking around at 315.
Oh wow, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, and I mean, initially, I mean, are you planning on staying at super heavyweight, or are you gonna work your way down?
I thought about doing super heavyweight, but I mean, when you go professional, it's really not much super heavyweight.
You'll be fighting in Japan against Butterbean and all these other
one champion.
Yeah, bro, believe me, and there's money in that too, man. Bob Sapp might still be around, who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, of course, I mean, I don't even think the UFC has a super heavyweight division.
No.
So I mean, you definitely have to move down. But on that day, man, I mean, you were actually cutting weight. and come to find out your opponent wasn't on weight.
No, yeah. The day before weigh-ins, his coach called Professor Jacob, and he was like, "Hey, it's an open weight, right?" And Jacob's texting me like, "Hey, like, what's the max?" I was like, "It's 300." And he's like, "No, it's super heavyweight. It's max 300." He's like, "Oh, well, our guy's walking around 20 pounds overweight."
Damn.
And we were like, "What the hell?" Like, I'm over here busting my butt trying to lose this weight, and so I'm getting a little angry at it. And so he's like, "No, like it's 300, but we'll bump it up to 305. Just drop 15 pounds in 24 hours. It's possible."
Right.
But he said okay, and then weigh-ins come in, and we weighed in. I weighed in at 289, but he weighed in at 336. So they lied about how much overweight he was.
Yeah, bro. That's it is an amateur status, bro, when it comes to the sport. But I mean, of course, you want to be professional about it, right? I mean, you find that out on day weigh-ins. I mean, what are you thinking, man?
I was at that point, I was really mad because like I knew he was like talking crap on social media, and I'm not used to it. Like, and it's weird, but I obviously have to get used to it because if I want to keep fighting, there's gonna be some back and forth. But yeah, I was just like, man, like I'm not talking any crap. Like, why is he talking crap? And when we weighed in, we did our face off. Like, we faced the crowd. I just did like the number one signs.
Yeah.
I just had confidence, but I wasn't trying to show it off like that. But he was banging his chest and he was all zip him up, and I was like, all right. I was like, okay, I'll remember that.
Yeah, dude. And of course you did, man. I mean, you were able to finish the guy pretty quick, man.
Yeah, 25 seconds.
Yeah, bro. And I mean, as a fighter, I mean, of course you want to finish quick, get in, get out. But I mean, of course. Mentally, I mean, what were you thinking now? I mean, of course, you're not going to finish every fight in 25 seconds. If you do, great, but of course, you've been training for the long haul.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah,
your cardio, I mean, playing football, man, or having been playing football, I mean, what does your training consist of as far as endurance?
Endurance is just jump rope. I like to warm up with the jump rope, kind of start like that off with cardio. And if I have time after practice, if I don't have to go into work or anything, I'll probably run like a couple miles just to kind of keep it on top of things.
Yeah, man. And I mean, your cardio is pretty good, man, right?
Oh yeah, I would say so for someone that's like 300 pounds.
No, and I was gonna say, because even, I mean, people think super heavyweight, and of course, like I mentioned, Butterbean, Bob Sapp. Not saying the guys aren't athletic, because Bob Sapp, does come from football, but they don't think cardio, man. So of course, they see guys gassing out and somebody getting knocked out. I mean, for example, your opponent, of course, his cardio wasn't too great, but I mean, he paid for it, man. I mean, he didn't make weight first off, and I mean, after this, man, what are you thinking? Are you getting back inside the cage for the new year?
Yeah, we're talking to Fury right now, so I want to get into that. Professor, he put my name in as well as our other teammates. But February 6th is, I think that's when they're trying to land a date for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to get back into it, but I'm dropping weight right now. I'm sitting at 285. I'm trying to go down to 265. So
okay, and possible? You thinking?
Oh yeah.
Just lay off the tacos for a little bit, maybe, man.
I'll video.
Yeah, I'll go with you. That way, I'll eat them for you, man. Heck,
I appreciate that.
I'm not cutting weight, man. But on that take, man. I mean, what does your meals consist of? Because I mean, do you really like watch what you eat, or are you just like minimizing carbs? How does that work?
I try. I try for like the first week. Try do like just chicken, veggies, and rice, but I kind of give up after that. But I really do like watch my intake. Like, hey, like I ate this, so let me run this off, or let me do this so I can work it off, and then I can have like a little snack at the end.
No, yeah, and of course, come fight week, I mean, you'll be cutting weight, of course, right? Yeah. So what do you see yourself cutting, man? Like 10, 15 pounds come from the fight day?
I say I want to cut down to 245.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to walk around 265, cut down 245.
Nice, man.
Because I mean, I feel good when I was cutting down from 315 to 289.
Right.
I feel like I'm gonna be like, I feel really good.
No, yeah, especially training. I mean, you're gonna be moving around in that weight, so you'll be comfortable. You won't have to worry about getting tired or gassing out, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Now, I mean, back to the promotion, man. I mean, the promotion itself travels. I mean, they're from California. Of course, they go across the U.S., so it was a good outlet, because a lot of people got to see you fight. I mean, the main thing with mixed martial arts, or just the sports in general, is getting people's eyes on you, as far as promoters, matchmakers. And, of course, with your coach, man, I mean, of course, he's looking out for you guys, so definitely getting you a good platform to start off at.
Oh, yeah.
Now, as far as mixed martial arts, bro, I mean, what are you thinking? I mean, is this still obviously you're an amateur fighter, but you're thinking like five fights in, maybe you go pro, or I mean, are you thinking that far ahead?
I feel like I want to fight for the title, like an amateur title. I want to defend it a couple times before going pro.
Okay, sweet, man. No, yeah, and that's what was it? Matt Hughes, man. That said, you can't be the champion unless you defend it once, man. So it makes sense, because one of the things about it, yeah, bro. I mean, a lot of the UFC, the titles switch hands so many times, man. I mean, in some divisions, but it's crazy to see because I mean, who is the best, right?
Oh yeah.
So of course you want to test yourself. Now, coming into the sport, man, actually coming from football, were there any football players that you saw that were transitioning to mixed martial arts that kind of like influenced you? Motivated you?
Not really. I just like I kind of would see here and there like what's his name, Greg Hardy. Like when he transitioned, I was curious to see how he was gonna do. I mean, he's doing pretty well. He's still.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's still in the roster, so obviously.
But I just kind of I just watched it. I like watching it, and then like one day I was just like, I want to try this out, man.
Only one way to find out, right?
Yeah,
only mistakes, man.
Oh yeah. And first practice, I just instantly fell in love with it, man. I've been sticking with it for almost 2 years now.
No, and I was gonna ask you. So you did start 2 years ago?
Yeah, me and my friend Christian, we joined. We were the first ones of the new year for 2020, and Gabe Renaga,
right?
He's the one that he got us in. We had like this deal. It was like you pay so much money, you get like 3 free classes, and I was like, cool, first class in.
That was it.
So,
you're like, sign me up.
Yeah, we didn't even have to try the other 2 classes. We're like, I want to join already.
No, and of course, Gabe, man, Sensei, right? I mean, he's a good guy. The guy's been in it for a minute. I know he's old school. You see his photos on social media, man. He had the ponytail thing going on, Steven Seagal. But the guy is the real deal, man. I mean, the karate guy, dude. So, Gabe, man, I'm actually looking to bring him in here too soon.
Hell yeah.
But okay, so you started training right away. I mean, did you get into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or was it just mixed martial arts?
Yeah. They wanted us to get the basics down. They want us to have the ground game. So we start off with the Jiu-Jitsu, and Gabe actually threw us in a Jiu-Jitsu competition, Grappling Industries.
Oh, really?
Like our first month in.
Oh, damn.
First time meeting Jason, he was like, yeah, these guys are the new guys, brand new guys. They've been consistent. They're going to do the competition in February. And I was like, we are?
And no, I mean, that's good, man. I mean, at least one of the things that I'm real big on is competitions, bro. When it comes to grappling, only for the fact that you get used to walking out and people yelling and, you get experience. When you walk inside the cage, I mean, of course, your amateur debut, man. I mean, did you see anybody when you were walking out, or did you have tunnel vision? What happened?
I honestly don't know what happened.
No?
Because I had my own walkout song, and I don't know. It was like as soon as I heard like the newcomer Robert Olivarez, I was like blacked out.
Oh, shit, that's me.
I was like, I'm going crazy. So I came out. I'm jogging. I'm like kind of skipping. I'm leaving the. Coach Dave and Professor in the back, and they're like, wait, and I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Should have put them on your shoulders and walk out.
I know. Yeah. So, but it was funny because like I got everything ready, like the Vaseline on my face, and then like I got everything checked. I went into the cage. I'm pacing back and forth, and I realized this is not my song. I didn't choose the song.
Oh,
I was like, what's going on? But I was so much in the zone. I was like, it didn't even matter. So, but it was funny. It was just like halfway in already. I was already like, hey, this ain't my song.
Whose song was it? Do you know?
I don't know. I have no idea whose song it was. I chose one song. I guess the DJ didn't have it or something. So
yeah, bro. And a lot of times, I mean, I wouldn't think that they would do that, but like the UFC and other promotions, they pick their own songs. Like they got to do the whole copyright thing. And it gets a little. Legalities as far as with their music, but yeah, man. But I mean, you walked in. I mean, as soon as the cage, the door shut, man. I mean, you're ready to go.
Oh yeah. It was I was confident, man. I was like really confident going in because I knew I busted my butt like the whole camp. But before the whole card started, Professor he brought me into the cage and he's like, hey, walk around. I felt comfortable and I was like, yeah, that's nice. But then when I walked out and I went to the cage with all the lights on me and everyone like looking at me, I was like, oh my, I'm about to crap my pants.
You're like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, I was like, this is really happening.
And your opponent had experience, right? I think he came in with a few fights.
Yeah, I think they told me he was 3-0, But I think the two of them were like smokers because I looked him up and said he was 1-0.
I got you.
But yeah, he's an experienced fighter. I think he's a kickboxer as well. So I was kind of like I wanted to dabble on that, just try to see how his stand up
was. Man, and I gotta say because I mean, of course, I mean you have your head instructor Jacob, in your corner here coaching you. I mean David Longoria, but you had also told me, man, you had a former UFC fighter, Daniel Jolly, actually helping you guys.
Oh yeah, Jolly. He came in and man,
that's a big dude, man.
A big dude.
Yeah, bro. I remember the first time seeing him fight, man. I was thinking, damn, dude, that's a big individual, man. But I mean, of course, he is technical. I mean, he's experienced. I mean, what did you guys work with? Like, what did he work with you guys on?
First day, he worked with me like stand up. Sorry. Yeah, he worked with me stand up and completely picked me apart. He hit me with a body shot, and I think it was a liver shot. And I've never been hit like that before, and I just dropped.
I've eaten 2 of those in my life, bro. That shit sucks, bro.
I mean,
it takes that split second to realize, okay, I'm going down.
Oh yeah, I blinked, and the next thing you know, I'm like kneeling on the ground, and it was funny. And then it was like, "You good?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm good. Let's keep going." And we finished practice. The second time he came around for camp. We worked on ground game, like the cage wrestling and ground game, and I knew he was like a higher ranked belt,
right?
But like he's like higher ranked than like an MMA jiu-jitsu,
right?
Like
no, yeah,
combat.
man.
And my teammates, you can ask them, they're like out of your face. You just look just pure defeat. Like,
you had already given up, man.
Oh man, I was like, what am I doing here?
Like, do I really want to do this? Am I really fighting?
I don't know. I was like, man, this kind of sucks, man. He was throwing punches. I was like, I don't want to be on this end, man.
No, you see, and that's kind of good though, man. I mean, the fact that you brought up that point, it is combat jiu-jitsu in the sense that, I mean, you're striking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know a lot of people feel differently about saying they have a super fight or a grappling fight and using the word fight for grappling because there's no striking. But in a sense, man, I mean, it does change. I mean, it's not sport, obviously. So, I mean, you can't work inside the guard the way you would do in a no striking situation, right? Yeah. So, I mean, he went over a lot of that stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was really cool.
No, I can only imagine, man. Like I said, I mean, I've seen the guy fight twice here in the regional circuit before he got picked up by the UFC. Of course, he was training out there in the ATT, right? I mean, he was out there with the big dogs, getting, learning techniques and everything else, man. And let me ask you, bro, and this is no disrespect to your teammates and your the gym itself, but I mean, if there's somebody, say you could travel somewhere for the weekend and train with somebody, who would it be, man?
I'd say Greg Jackson, man. Like he's such a smart dude. Like I mean, he had George St. Pierre, John Jones. He had what's his name? Rashad Evans.
Yeah, well, he's got everybody. Yeah. I mean, right now, yeah, he's definitely the coach of coaches, man. So.
Oh yeah. So I mean, definitely want to learn, like, pick his brain on like the striking aspect of grappling, just the whole MMA aspect of fighting and IQ. Yeah, that'd be definitely like cool experience to have. Just have a practice with them.
No, you see, man, and I've actually met him twice through the original circuit. I mean, both times he was coaching. Fighters here in Texas, man. One in Austin, I believe the second one was in Dallas or Houston. But I mean, watching them coach, yeah, man, that's one of the things I noticed. I mean, I'm doing the media thing, I'm doing photos, I'm doing video, but I have that habit of always looking at the coaches, man, because a lot of them, they lose control and they're just yelling. Some of them, like Jacob, man, and this is not just because, of course, we're inside his gym, but he's real technical when it comes to coaching, man. I mean. The whole fight, I mean, your teammates fought in Beeville, and I'm hearing them talk, literally, like he's talking to the fighters, and I'm thinking, like, man, that's pretty dope, because he was calm and collect, he didn't lose his cool, he was able to kind of like break down what's going on, and when you guys came in, I would hear him talk to you, or, your teammates, him, telling them, like, hey, look out for this, and, so I was just like, you know what, man, there is a difference when it comes to coaching. I know some people feel good or bad about situations where, coaches yelling at the fighters, man. I mean, sometimes they need it just to pick up and be like, okay, yeah, you know what, let me snap out of this. But not everybody's the same, so I guess it kind of varies. But, I mean, of course, with something like that, man, I mean, you would want to bring, that kind of coaching to your skill level, man, as far as like fighting.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, of course, you know, you guys are practicing today, right?
Yeah, we have a little sparring action today at 10:30, and then I think we're gonna do some conditioning after that. Probably just go run around Market Square and this half an hour of the cathedral, try to get that.
Go and chase, harass the tourists, man. There's a bunch of them out there, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when you're out there, pass up pamphlets, man. That way we can bring some people to the gym, bro.
I got you.
No, hey man. Well, I gotta say, man. I mean, now as far as fighting, are you looking at anything else? I mean, of course, you always want to have a backup plan. I mean, is there something that you're following, knowing, you know, thinking? I know you say, you know, when it comes time, you want to move back to the farmland. Yeah. But I mean, what are you thinking long term? You know, instead of MMA, like, or other than MMA.
I honestly, I've been kind of looking at Air Force. I'm trying to get in the Air Force.
Okay.
Because I look at the PJs, the pararescue.
Yeah.
And that really catches my eye. I really want to help people and.
No, but that's dope, man. I mean, definitely. You know, and that's one thing. Even with you know, fighters that I've known, man. I mean, I've been doing this 12 plus years as far as covering the sport and fighters. And one of the things I always tell them, man, is that you always want to have a plan B, a plan C, plan D, just because you never know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so that would definitely be, you know, that'd be great, man. I mean, I hope you do pursue that or pursue, you know, other than MMA, of course, you know, wish you the best with this sport.
Yes, sir.
But as far as military, the good thing, Air Force, you more than likely you'd be here, right? Yeah. San Antonio, man, so you wouldn't be too far away from home.
No, yeah. So I'll be down the road from my family.
No, yeah, for sure, man. And that's what, you know, get to go home and sleep in your own bed too. Of course, that'd be nice, man.
Oh yeah.
Now, let me ask you. Of course, you mentioned Fury FC. You know, them coming down. I'm more than likely, I know they'll be here in February for the fights, right? I think they have a fight. You mentioned.
Yeah. I think because they messaged Professor, and so hopefully he goes through, and then I can get a fight. So.
No, and I mean, what are you thinking now that you don't have to drive 3 hours, man? I mean, you get to weigh in, eat, go to your own bed, go to your own house, and lay out, man. I mean, you think that'll, you know, be beneficial? I mean, it'll benefit you more.
Yeah, I'll be a lot more comfortable in this, instead of going to a place I've never been. So.
No, you see, man, and I've never been to College Station. I was actually looking forward to it. I got my media pass the week of. I think it was like 3 days before the fight, so it kind of screwed me up because I didn't get it before, so I couldn't make plans for it, sort of. But it happens, man. But, I mean, I was looking forward to it, man. I mean, myself, I've never been to college in general, so I thought, hey, man, that's the closest thing to me, right? Yeah. College Station. I've been to college, bro, but it was community, man. But yeah, man. But, I mean, it was the first time out there. I mean, where they had it at, bro, it was actually, I think Jacob was telling me, it was inside the school itself, as far as the university after the college?
Yeah, it was their basketball arena.
Yeah, and it was huge.
It's huge.
Yeah, and I saw it and I was like, damn, dude, I thought y'all were at the Alamo Dome, man.
I looked at the picture and I was like, man, it's kind of big. But when you go in there, I was like,
it's huge.
Oh, man. I was like, what's going on?
You see, and okay, so you found it, I mean, and it wasn't even packed. I mean, there was a lot of people there. Yeah. But, I mean, walking into a place like that, imagine it being filled and everybody, I mean, what are you thinking, man? You know, hoodie, walking out, you know, headset. Honestly, walking into the cage?
Probably do the same thing, just kind of blank out everything. And
hopefully this time they'll play your song, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully I'll notice it immediately. But
yeah, dude. And well, what song was it, man?
It was Suicide Boys. It was Champion of Death.
Oh, okay. Damn, okay. And no, that's too bad that they didn't have it. Hopefully, if you do get to fight at Fury, man, they'll be able to find it and play it for you.
Oh yeah.
Now, what does that song do for you, man? What is it that you like about it?
It's just the vibe, just like the way the beat is, and then the lyrics. It kind of like there's a part where it's like I don't care if I live or die, and that's how I am. Like in the cage, like if there's a war, man, like you're gonna have to kill me.
You see, I can relate to that, man, only in the sense that every time I eat a taco in the morning, I'm like, shoot, screw it, man. I don't care if I live or die, bro. You know, I'm going to eat this shit. But yeah, bro, I mean, of course, you guys are athletes, man. You came up from being an athlete, you know, playing sports. I mean, are you thinking, you know, football again, or is that just something that, you know, you wouldn't go back to right now?
No. I thought about it, like, when I first joined MMA, but, like, now that I'm actually, like, comfortable in MMA, I'm doing pretty from like my experience pretty well. I don't know. I don't think I'd go back into it. Just this is like my home now.
No, you see, and I mean, how old were you when you started training?
I was 20.
Oh man, well, you're still a young man, dude. I mean, you know, and that's another thing too, because even say you enlist to the Air Force or say you do something else. I mean, you come back 28, 26, 28. I mean, you'll still be able to compete if you want. You know, of course, follow that dream. Now, when it comes to music, man, of course, you mentioned your walkout song. Like, what is it that you listen? Like, you go home, you go unwind. Do you listen to anything, or do you just turn off the lights and chill out? I mean, how do you get to take your mind off of the grind, bro?
Honestly, I play a little bit of Xbox and PlayStation.
You had mentioned that, man. I know you said you were on there and one of your teamates.
Yeah, Vontae.
Yeah, bro. And I mean, do you guys play often? I mean, as far as the game, or is this?
We try to play. He's just got a newborn, so he's a little busy with it.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I know they're gonna take. Wonderful years. I have 2 kids myself, so yeah, that's a good time. But as far as the game, man, I mean, I know a lot of the fighters, bro. I mean, I can throw tons of names out there, but a lot of guys are gamers, man. And that's one of the things I always try to push with the fans, or even your people that might train with you. And they probably don't even know you have a gaming addiction. Yeah. But I mean, it's cool because it's like everybody thinks fighter, and they think this guy has no brain. This guy's just all freaking going out to fight and start fights. But you guys are pretty laid back, man. I mean, of course you go home. I mean, you're not training at home, right? I mean, you live everything in the gym.
Yeah, everything in the gym. Sometimes though, like if I don't play video games, I like to go on YouTube and watch like jiu-jitsu techniques.
Oh, okay.
I like to do that because I like to learn. I love to learn new things. So like,
no, yeah, man.
If I don't know this position or a submission or anything, like I want to start learning that.
Well, that's good. I mean, definitely, because I know. When I first started, man, we didn't have YouTube. It was kind of. I remember Abu Dhabi had started, and one of my buddies that I used to train out of a garage at, man, like he got copies of the Abu Dhabi trials, and I took him home, and I was like, oh shit. I mean, it was just like, at that time, it was just like high level stuff, a lot of setups, which I was always a big fan of. I always tell people, man, it's an armbar is an armbar is an armbar, no matter where you're at, but it's how you set it up and how you execute it that, of course, gets that submission. But I mean, being a big guy, man, are there some moves that you can't do, like when you guys are training?
I'd say probably Peruvian necktie.
Oh, okay. I couldn't even do that at 155, bro.
We get the position and like, all right, throw your leg over. I'm like, I'm gonna fall. I'm falling to the side.
No, but you see, and that's one of the things I wanted to bring up, man, because back then when I started, my instructor, man, he was a big dude. I mean, he was like a heavyweight, and the technique that he would go through with us was good, and it worked for him. And a lot of times we weren't big, so we couldn't really, you know what I mean? Like we were. I mean, I'm not gonna say that's an excuse because you can still execute stuff, man. But there's a big thing as little guy jiu-jitsu and big guy jiu-jitsu, man. Because obviously, I mean, if you start training with guys your size, I mean, it's gonna be or if somebody coaches you, at your height and your weight, man. I mean, that's gonna be different. They'll be able to show you like, hey, well, this doesn't work, but this is what I do. Mm-hmm. I mean, is that kind of the stuff you look at like on YouTube?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. But I like because I mean I'm pretty much the biggest guy at the gym, so I train with a lot of like 155ers, 145ers. So I like to train with like the quicker guys.
No, yeah, and work on that speed, man.
Yeah, work on that speed. Just try to get that little like fast twitch movement, and like try to just stay on my feet. And it's been working pretty well. But
and let me ask you this, and not to say nobody gives you a challenge or during the grappling, but who's the one guy that pushes, like every time you go with them, you're like, okay, yeah, it's a good matchup, like you're kind of comfortable with. Is there somebody that you prefer, like as far as like grappling buddy?
As far as like grappling, like if you're already on the ground, my friend Christian, man, he's just a lengthy guy. He reminds us of Darren Till, like just the way he's built. And
I didn't think about that, man.
But man, his ground game is pretty freaking solid, man. And he always gives me a challenge.
And of course, you guys both started at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Who's a better grappler, bro? Let me throw it out there, man.
I ain't gonna lie, he is.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, because I'm more of I'm the big guy, so I like to put pressure. He's very finesse and he likes to use like just every like technique. I'm more strength. He's more technique.
No, yeah. You see, and I guess being the big guy, you can't like turn that off, right? I mean, if you have the weight and you have as far as the pressure on there, of course you're gonna use it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But okay, I mean, as far as striking, like who is it that you other than Daniel Jolly, of course, but I mean, who else in the gym do you like to mix it up with, man?
Vontae, man. Vontae, he's probably the quickest hands I've ever seen. Like,
oh yeah, he actually he made his amateur debut in Vigo also, man. So the guy, I mean, I was impressed. I mean, a lot of the guys from here, everybody was undefeated. I mean, I think gym wise, you guys are 5-0 right now.
4-0.
4-0.
Yeah.
Now,
4-0.
that's right. It was 3, and then you.
Yeah, and then me.
Okay,
yeah,
that's right.
last one.
I stand corrected, man. And now let me ask you, man. When it comes to fighting, man, I mean, people ask me like, "Oh man, you still fighting?" And I tell them, I say, "Man, I fight traffic every day, bro."
Yeah.
I don't always win, but I get through it, man. But I mean, what else is it that motivates you, man? As far as like wanting to get into the gym, like into MMA, like is there something in life that's kind of like, hey, you know what, family? I mean, did they motivate you? Is it?
Oh yeah, my family's always been behind me through everything, like 100%. They're one of the biggest motivators.
Right.
Well, honestly, when I started, I just kind of I think I was 335 when I started, and I was like, man, like I'm gaining all this weight.
Did they have a gi that size, bro?
Shit, barely, man. They were giving me gis, and I was like, man, this is kind of tight.
Can I take the sleeves off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't move on.
What size gi do you wear?
I'm A5.
A5?
But
Oh, man.
I'm starting to move down. Next game I'm gonna get is an A4.
Oh, nice. For sure, man. I mean, I would only imagine, bro, because you are a big individual, man. And I mean, are you still thinking grappling tournaments?
Yeah. I missed this grappling industries, I think, last month, and it was just because I was so focused on the fight. And
Right.
Everything else was just like blank to me. Everything was just on this fight.
No, I mean, for sure, man. And one of the things, and I mean, like I was saying earlier, man, I mean, as far as experience, I mean, there's a big platform for you guys at amateur even, because even grappling, I mean, there's amateur kickboxing, there's amateur boxing. I mean, are you looking at other outlets, or is it just mixed martial arts you want to concentrate on?
I want to do. I was trying to talk to the same promotion because they do boxing. So
yeah.
I want to work on boxing, kind of get my footwork and then my hands a little better. Because I look back at the film and I'm like, man, I was throwing those bombs, but my hands are down. And I told Professor after the fight too. I just said like I was happy I won, but at the same time I was upset at myself because I was like, man, my hands are down. I could have gotten knocked out at any point because my hands are down. I had no protection. So I want to practice on some boxing just to get my hands better, my footwork better. Muay Thai just to try to get like the kicking aspect a little stronger. Because in that fight I got a little too confident and I threw a leg kick. It was nice. But then I was in my head. I was like, "Oh, he's experienced, so after my next leg, he's gonna check it." So I threw everything to a head kick because at that point I'm already mad because the first thing he threw was a body kick. When he threw the body kick, he called me a B word. He called me a bitch. So,
oh shit!
So like at that point, the whole game plan went out the window, and I just saw red, and I was like,
"You were like, screw it."
I was like, "I'm just gonna knock this dude out." So when I threw the head kick, I threw everything to the head kick, but I was short. And
oh man!
I slipped and I fell. And like, in the video, it looks like I got up pretty fast, but I got like when it happened, I had like probably 10 oh craps in my head, like oh crap, I'm just trying.
Oh yeah, you see, and I saw that, man, and you did get up pretty quick. But that's interesting you say that, man, because you're thinking out there. You have like you say, your game plan kind of went disarray. But I mean, the guy being experienced in stand up, I mean, of course, I mean, the first instinct was to change it up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with something like that, man, I mean. Would you consider yourself a striker first or a grappler first?
I would say striker because I like to. I mean, I don't really like to put my whole game plan, but I mean, my biggest thing is I like to pressure into the cage. Like the cage wrestling is kind of like my bread and butter.
Right.
I practiced that at when Ohana. I used to be at Ohana. They bought the UFC gym like kind of during COVID. So when we came back, it was a UFC gym, but now it's Ohana. And so they have a cage in there, and that's like pretty much the main thing that we practice. We just practice cage wrestling. So that's kind of my bread and butter right now. My striking's getting a lot better, and for sure my grappling. I've been going a lot more jiu-jitsu practices.
No, for sure, man. Yeah, and that's good you are, man, because, I mean, of course, experience. You in the gym, I always tell people, man, you want to put yourself in bad situations and learn how to get out of them.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's ego. I mean, when I first started training, man, it was I would miss a month or 2 months, and then I go back, and your ego is so big that you're like, shit, you don't want to tap. I would always like go with the higher belt just because I was like, well, if I tap, at least I'll tap to these guys, because you're always afraid to tap to the the beginners and the lower level. But I mean, you want to put yourself in that situation, man. And one of the things that I had even told David Longoria, man, like when I was teaching at one point, man, I was affiliated with Carlson Gracie Sr. And my thing, I would get the guys round up, and I would get okay, everybody, 2 lines. Rear naked choke, okay, switch, rear naked, and I would jump in there. And at the end of everything, I would say, okay, look, everybody tapped everybody out, man. Throw that shit out the door. Don't worry about it. Let's roll. Boom. And that way, it kind of gave everybody that mental aspect to kind of break out and like I said, put yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
Start from the mound. Start from give the guy your back and work your way out of it. And that way, experience. You get in the cage and you're in the fight. You already know, like, okay, this is what doesn't work. This is what does work. But yeah, man. I mean, I hope you do pursue that, man. As far as more grappling tournaments. As far as your gi, man, I hope they make one your size. No, you say you are going down in it, man. So that's great. And of course, like you said, I mean, the next one, hopefully, we'll see you fighting at 245.
Yeah, yes, sir.
No problem, man. And hopefully, like I said, I mean, Fury FC comes into town in February, so hopefully they'll pick you up, put you on there. And I look forward to it, man. I'm going to wrap this up, bro, but I do want to say, I want to thank you, for coming out here in the morning. I know, training's going to start like in 20, 30 minutes. And those gifts, man, you're going to give everybody, hands today, hopefully. I'm sure they'll be returning the favor.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you guys are sparring today?
Yeah, we're going to have like a little sparring session at first. And then we'll kind of work cage wrestling and then probably some cardio.
No, and I'm gonna bring this up only for you guys, everybody as far as amateur fighters, bro, even pro, man. I mean, of course, you'll be looking for sponsors for this next bout, right?
Oh yeah.
So anybody out there, man, I mean, you're like a walking billboard, man. Honestly, so of course they can put your logo on you, man, on your shorts, your shirt, and we're gonna see if we can help you with that, man. So hopefully closer to fight time, we'll get something going. Oh, yeah. But for those out there, man, listening, you have a business, of course, here in San Antonio, man. Look up the man.
No, definitely.
But I do thank you, bro. We're gonna wrap this up. And anything you want to say, man, as far as people listening?
Just man, if people who are doing like MMA, man, just keep doing it. It's the greatest thing ever. I'm not no bias. It's a little biased, but man, as far as it's the greatest thing ever, it's just not only just like physically better for you, but mentally because there's a lot of hidden like life lessons in it. So. I really take that to heart, and it's honestly made me a better person. So anybody out there that's kind of struggling or just want a little advice, go to your professor, talk with them, do some classes with them, and just pick up on some of the life advices. No, for sure, man. And like you said, I mean, it is an art form. It is martial arts. It's mixed martial arts. But one of the things that I had mentioned to your teammate the other day, man. I mean, I always told my kids. The opposite of depression is expression. So if those listening, if you're suffering or if you're lonely or if you need a hug, put a gi on and they'll hug you all day over here, man. It'll be chokes, but submissions, but yeah, man, it's good. Get out. I mean, a lot of people suffer from depression, from PTSD. I mean, you've got military, law enforcement, so it's a great art form, right? Oh yeah, for sure. No? Man, I appreciate you, bro. Everybody, Robert Olivarez, once again, amateur MMA fighter, hopefully fighting in February. Those listening, man, go to the YouTube channel, subscribe. We are DeFi Card Podcast. And once again, follow up.